Everyone in the restaurant froze. The sound wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic, just a small, wet sound. A rich teenage boy leaned forward and spit directly onto a waitress's face. People looked away. Some laughed nervously. Some pretended not to see. But what that boy didn't know was that 50 Hells Angels were sitting quietly around him, watching, remembering, and deciding. Before this story continues, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video and share it with your friends because stories like this deserve to be heard. Now let me tell you what really happened that night. The spit. The diner was old. Not the cute kind of old, the tired kind. Cracked vinyl booths, a flickering neon sign outside, coffee that tasted burnt no matter how fresh it was, but it was honest work, and Maya worked there every night. She was single mother, 2 jobs, 1 dream she never talked about anymore. Her shoes hurt, her back hurt, her heart hurt more than anything. That night had already been long. Truckers came and went, a couple arguing quietly in the corner, 3 men with leather jackets, rings on their fingers, and eyes that never stopped scanning the room. Actually, not 3. There were a lot more. They didn't sit together. They never did. Different booths, different counters, different shadows, but they all wore the same thing. Black leather, calm faces, patient eyes. Maya didn't know who they were. She just knew one thing: they tipped well, and they treated her with respect. Then the door slammed open. Laughter spilled in before the people did. For teenagers, designer clothes, expensive watches, that careless confidence money gives you when you've never earned it. The leader walked like the room belonged to him. 18, rich, smiling, like rules didn't apply. Maya grabbed menus and walked over. "Hey guys," she said softly. "Booth or table?" The boy didn't answer. He looked her up and down, slowly, then smirked. "We'll take the booth," he said, "and hurry it up. We're starving." Maya nodded and turned. That's when he added, "And wipe that look off your face. You're here to serve." She felt it, that familiar sting, but she kept walking. She always did. The Heimlichkeit on everything was wrong from the start. They snapped fingers, whistled, laughed, too loud. One of them knocked over a glass on purpose. "Oops," he said, smiling. Maya cleaned it up. Another boy whispered something. They all laughed. Then the leader leaned back and said, "Hey waitress, smile." She didn't. He leaned forward. "I said smile." "I'll be right back with your order," she replied. That's when it happened. No warning, no hesitation. He spit right on her cheek. The diner went silent. Maya didn't scream, didn't cry. She just stood there, frozen. Coffee dripping, hands shaking. The boy laughed. "Relax, it's just spit." Someone in the corner clenched a fist. Another man slowly set down his coffee. A leather jacket creaked as someone shifted. In their seat, Maya wiped her face with her sleeve. She whispered, "Please don't do that." The boy leaned back. Or what? He had no idea. Not yet. What he didn't see, he didn't see the men watching, didn't notice the subtle nods, the exchanged looks, the silence that meant everything. One man stood. Big, grey beard, eyes like steel. He walked to the counter and paid his bill. Then another stood. Then another. One by one they weren't angry. They were calm. And calm men are the most dangerous kind. Maya felt it. The air changed. She looked up. And for the first time that night, she didn't feel alone. If this story made your blood boil, if you believe respect still matters, if you love the Hells Angels Brotherhood and Biker Code, share this video right now. Subscribe to Bikershype. Help us complete our 1,000 subscribers target. Now, prove your love, because part 2 is where everything changes. The men who never forget. The boy still didn't understand why the room felt different. He leaned back in the booth, arms spread wide, laughing like he had just told the best joke of the night. His friends laughed with him too loud, too forced, because rich kids like him were never allowed to look weak in front of each other. Maya stepped away from the table. Her hands were shaking now, not because of fear, because of something else, something she hadn't felt in a long time. Support. She could feel eyes on her back, not hungry eyes, not mocking ones, but steady, grounded ones, the kind that didn't look away when things got ugly. She walked toward the counter, her head low. The manager, an older man with tired eyes, whispered, "Do you want me to call the cops?" Maya hesitated. Before she could answer, a deep voice spoke from behind them. "No need." The manager turned, so did Maya. The man standing there was massive, not just tall but wide in a way that came from years of iron and asphalt. His beard was grey, trimmed short. His leather jacket looked worn, not flashy, the kind of jacket that had stories soaked into every crease. He placed a few bills on the counter. "Get her a coffee," he said calmly. "On me." Maya opened her mouth to speak. He shook his head gently. "Just sit for a minute." She did. The boy noticed. "Hey," he shouted across the diner. "I didn't say you could take a break." Nobody laughed this time. The silence felt heavy now, uncomfortable. One of the boy's friends leaned in. "Dude, maybe chill." The boy scoffed. "What, you scared of a waitress?" That's when the chairs started moving. Slowly. Not rushed, not aggressive. Men stood up across the diner. One by one. A man near the window, another by the jukebox, two more near the back booths. Leather creaked, boots hit the floor. The boy's smile faded just a little. "Why is everyone staring?" he muttered. A hand rested on his shoulder. Not hard, just firm. He turned. A biker stood beside the booth, younger than the others, but built like a wall. His eyes were calm, almost polite. "You spit on women often?" the biker asked. The boy laughed nervously. "Get your hand off me." The biker didn't move, answered the question. The boy swallowed. It was a joke. Another voice joined in. "Jokes are funny." This one came from behind him. He turned again. Too many men now, surrounding the booth, not blocking the exits, because they didn't need to. The boy stood up fast. "You think you can scare me?" "My dad," the gray-bearded man stepped forward. Everyone else went quiet, even the boy. "Your father didn't raise you," the man said calmly. "Money did." The boy clenched his jaw. "You don't know me." The man nodded. "I know enough." He gestured toward Maya. "You disrespected her in front of everyone. That makes this everyone's business." The boy's friend slid out of the booth, backing away. "Sit," the biker said softly. One friend obeyed. Immediately. The boy hesitated. Gray-bearded man leaned closer, not threatening, not shouting. Just close enough that the boy could smell oil and leather and something else. Experience. Ball quotes. "Sit," he repeated. The boy sat. Maya watched from the counter, heart pounding. She'd never seen power like this. No yelling, no violence. Just presence. The gray-bearded man turned to her. "You okay?" She nodded slowly. He looked back at the boy. "Now you're going to apologize." The boy laughed again, but his voice cracked. "I'm not apologizing." To the man raised one finger. The entire room felt it. "You're going to apologize," he said, "because if you don't, this moment will follow you for the rest of your life." The boy looked around. 50 faces. Not angry. Disappointed. His mouth went dry. He turned toward Maya. "I'm sorry," he muttered. The man shook his head. "Stand up. Look at her. Mean it." The boy stood. His voice was quieter now. "I'm sorry," he said again. "I shouldn't have done that." Maya stared at him. Then she spoke. "Don't ever do it to anyone else." He nodded quickly. "I won't." The gray-bearded man stepped back. "Pay your bill," he said, "and leave." They didn't wait to be told twice. The boys rushed out into the night. Laughter gone. Pride shattered. The door swung closed. Silence. Silence. Then something unexpected happened. One of the bikers started clapping. Slowly. Once, twice. Others joined. Not loud, not wild. Respectful. That gray-bearded man turned to Maya. "You didn't deserve that," he said, "but you handled it with strength." Maya felt tears rise, not from humiliation this time, from relief, from gratitude, from knowing she had been seen. The men paid their tabs. Each one left a tip. Each one nodded to her as they passed. When the diner was empty again, the manager whispered, "Who were they?" Maya looked at the last leather jacket disappearing into the night. "I don't know," she said softly, but deep down, she did. If this moment gave you chills, if you believe respect is non-negotiable, if you love the Hells Angels Code and Biker Brotherhood, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends, help us complete our 1,000 subscribers target. Now prove your love. Reply. Continue part 3, because what happens to Maya after this night changes her life forever. The morning after, Maya didn't sleep that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the diner again, the booth, the boy's face, the way the room had changed when the men stood up. She replayed it over and over, half expecting the fear to return, but it did in single quotes instead. there was something else, a quiet strength she hadn't felt in years. At 5 in the morning she got up anyway. Same routine, same worn shoes, same tired mirror. But when she looked at herself this time, she noticed something new. Her shoulders were straighter. The diner smelled the same when she walked in. Coffee, grease, old wood. The manager nodded at her, a little more respectfully than usual. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "Yeah, I am." By 8 a.m., the breakfast crowd had rolled in. Truckers, locals, a few regulars who nodded. "Hello." Then the door opened again. The bell rang, and Maya froze. Leather jackets, not 50 this time. 5. Every head in the diner turned. The manager stiffened. Someone whispered. A fork clinked against a plate. The men walked in, slowly, calm, controlled. The one in front was the same grey-bearded man from the night before. He saw Maya immediately. His face softened. She swallowed and walked toward them, heart racing, not from fear, but from uncertainty. "Good morning," she said carefully. "Morning," he replied. "Mind if we sit?" She gestured toward a booth. "Anywhere you like." They sat. One of the bikers, a woman this time, strong jaw, eyes sharp but kind, looked at Maya closely. "You holding up?" Maya nodded. "Better than I thought I would." The woman smiled slightly. "Good." The grey-bearded man placed a folded piece of paper on the table. "This is for you." Maya hesitated. "I can't take money." "It's not money," he said. She unfolded it. Inside was a business card. No flashy logo, no phone number. Just a name and a symbol she recognized instantly. Hell's Angels. Her breath caught. The man spoke gently. "What happened last night shouldn't have happened, but it did, and sometimes, when things happen, they open doors." She looked up. "Doors to what?" "Two people who look out for their own," he said, "and for those who remind us why we do." She didn't understand yet, but she would. The boys' world, CROLCIC, is across town. The rich teen wasn't sleeping either. He sat in his room, walls covered in expensive art he'd never chosen, himself staring at his phone. No new messages. No replies. His friends weren't answering. At breakfast, his father looked up from his tablet. "You embarrassed us," his father said calmly. The boy blinked. "What?" "You were identified," his father continued. "Video, witnesses, names." The boy's face went pale. "You can fix it, right?" His father finally looked at him. "No," he said, "I can't." The boy felt something sink in his chest. Not fear. Consequences. A different kind of farewell vibe at the diner. Maya poured coffee for the bikers. They talked about normal things. Roads, weather, work. Nothing dramatic. But when they stood to leave, the woman biker paused. "You ever thought about leaving this place?" she asked. Maya laughed softly. "Every day." "Then maybe it's time you did," the woman said. "People like you don't belong stuck." The grey-bearded man nodded. "If you ever need help, you won't be alone." They left. The diner felt bigger after they were gone, brighter that afternoon. Maya picked up her son from school. He ran to her. "Mom," he shouted. "Guess what?" She knelt. "What?" "I told my teacher you're the bravest person I know." Her throat tightened. That night, she opened the business card again. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to imagine something different. Not easy, but fair. If this story hit your heart, if you believe respect earns respect, if you love the biker brotherhood and the Hells Angels code, subscribe to Bikershype. Like this video, share it with your friends. Help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target now. Prove your love. The road OPNS. Maya stared at the business card long after her son had fallen asleep. The apartment was quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet that usually made her anxious, made her think about bills, about shifts, about everything she hadn't done yet. But tonight, the quiet felt different. She turned the card over in her fingers. No phone number, no address, just the name and the symbol of the Hells Angels. It didn't feel like an invitation. It felt like a reminder that night hadn't been about revenge. It hadn't been about fear. It had been about lines, and what happens when someone crosses them. A week later, the diner changed after that night. Not dramatically, not overnight, but in small ways that mattered. Customers spoke more politely. Tips got better. Men who used to snap their fingers stopped. Word had spread, not the details, just the feeling that something had happened there. One afternoon, a black pickup pulled into the lot. Maya watched from the window. The same grey-bearded biker stepped out. Alone this time. He walked in slow, respectful. "Got a minute?" he asked. She nodded and poured him coffee. He didn't sit. "Some friends are opening a roadside place up north," he said. "Kitchen needs someone steady, honest." Maya's heart skipped. "I can't just leave. You wouldn't be alone," he replied. "Your kid would be safe. School's good. Community's better." She stared at him. "Why me?" He shrugged. "You didn't shrink when you were humiliated. That tells us everything." He slid a folded paper across the counter, an address, a date. Then he left. The rich boy, less across town. The boy's world continued collapsing. His friends distanced themselves. Clubs stopped answering. Invitations disappeared. One night, he sat alone in his car, replaying the diner moment on his phone. Someone had filmed it. From the back he watched himself spit, watched the room go silent, watched the men stand. For the first time, he didn't see power in himself. He saw how small he'd been. The DICICO and Maya packed slowly. She told the manager. He nodded. "You deserve better," he said. "Go get it." Her son bounced around the apartment, excited. "Are there motorcycles there?" She laughed. "Probably." The morning they left, the sky was clear. At the edge of town, bikes waited. Not a parade, not a show. Just presence. The grey-bearded man nodded as she pulled up. "You ready?" She took a breath. "Yes." On the road, the engines rolled out together. Maya followed behind, hands tight on the wheel, heart steady. For the first time in years, she wasn't running from something. She was moving toward it. A future built on respect, on rules that mattered, on people who watched and acted. If this story stayed with you, if you believe respect is earned and defended, if you love the Biker Brotherhood and the Hells Angels Code, subscribe to Bikershype. Like this video, share it with your friends. Help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target. Now, prove your love. The place where names matter. The road stretched longer than Maya expected. Pines replaced billboards. Gas stations replaced malls. The air felt cleaner, sharper, like it was telling the truth. They reached the roadside place just before sunset. It wasn't fancy. Wooden siding, gravel lot, a hand-painted sign that read "Open." But it felt alive. Bikes were parked neatly along the side, not blocking doors, not showing off, just present. Inside, the kitchen was warm, real warm. Not the greasy heat of a diner that never cared, but the kind that comes from people who do. The woman biker from before met her at the door. "You made it," she said. "I'm Lena." Maya smiled. "Maya." Lena shook her hand, firm, respectful. "This place runs on rules," Lena said. "Respect the work. Respect the people. No yelling, no shortcuts." Maya nodded. "That's how I live." Lena smiled. "Good. You'll fit in." A different kind of shift to Maya's first shift felt strange. No finger snapping. No insults disguised as jokes. No fear. Customers said thank you. They waited their turn. They looked her in the eye. When someone raised their voice once, just once, Lena stepped in. "Take it down," she said calmly. The man did. Immediately. Maya noticed something else. Everyone knew everyone's name. Names mattered here. The boy, Arita, and weeks later, the rich boy found the place by accident. He was driving, no destination, just running from the silence of his old life. He pulled in for gas, saw the bikes, felt that same chill crawl up his spine. Inside, he recognized her instantly. Maya. She saw him too. Their eyes met. He froze. She didn't. She finished serving another customer, then walked over. "What can I get you?" she asked. No anger, no fear. Just calm. His voice cracked. "I'm sorry." Again. She studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded. "Don't do it again," she said. "Anywhere." He nodded quickly. "I won't." She poured his coffee. He paid, left a big tip. And when he walked out, he understood something he never had before. Some power isn't loud. The quiet COD that night. Maya sat outside after closing. Engines purred in the distance. Lena joined her, handing her a jacket. "Your family now?" Lena said simply. Maya swallowed. "I don't know how to thank you." Lena shook her head. "You already did by standing up without throwing a punch." Maya looked at the road, at the bikes, at the people who watched, and acted. She finally understood the symbol on that card. The Hells Angels weren't about fear. They were about lines, and what happens when you cross them. If this story moved you, if you believe respect is a code, not a word, if you love the Biker Brotherhood, and the Hells Angels way. Subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends. Help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target now. Prove your love. When the road test's first storm came without warning, dark clouds rolled over the pines like a closing fist, and the wind cut across the roadside place hard enough to rattle the windows. Maya was inside, drying her hands, when the power flickered once, twice, then went out. Silence. No hum of refrigerators, no lights, just rain hammering the roof. Lena didn't panic. Lanterns, she said calmly. Backup generator in 5. The place moved like a body that knew itself. Maya felt it then. This wasn't a job. It was a system, a promise. The generator kicked in. Warm light returned. Coffee kept flowing. And then the door blew open. A man stumbled in, soaked to the bone, one arm wrapped tight against his ribs. His face was pale. His breath came in sharp, uneven pulls. "Help," he whispered, collapsing to a knee. Maya was at his side instantly. "Sit," she said. "Steady. You're safe." Lena knelt, 2 eyes scanning for injuries. "Crash." The man nodded. "Bike. Truck didn't see me." Thunder cracked. Outside. Headlights cut through the rain. Engines. Plural. The door opened again, this time controlled, purposeful. Men and women stepped in, rain slicking their jackets, eyes locked on the injured rider. No shouting, no chaos, just movement. One of them spoke softly. "I'm here." The injured man exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for miles. Maya helped stabilize him, her hands sure, her voice calm. She'd learned this calm the hard way through nights, when fear wanted to take over and she refused to let it. An ambulance was called, blankets wrapped, coffee pressed into shaking hands. When the siren finally faded into the storm, the room stayed quiet for a long moment. Then a nod went around. Not applause. Acknowledgement. Lena turned to Maya. "You didn't hesitate." Maya swallowed. "I knew what to do." "That's the thing," Lena said. "You always do." The past KN06. 2 days later, a familiar car rolled into the gravel lot. Luxury. Clean lines. Out of place. Maya recognized it before it stopped. The rich boy's father stepped out. He looked older than he should, tired in a way money couldn't fix. He came inside alone. "I'm looking for Maya," he said. She stepped forward. "I'm here." He hesitated, then did something she didn't expect. He apologized, not loudly, not performatively, honestly. "I raised him wrong," he said. "I thought money was enough." Maya listened. She didn't interrupt. "He's starting over," he continued. "So am I." She nodded once. "Good. He left a donation for the local clinic. Not a show, just help." As he walked out, Maya felt something loosen inside her chest. Closure doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. The code in Paracetus at night. Bikes lined the lot, not in a spectacle, but in readiness. The storm had passed, leaving the air clear and sharp. Lena joined Maya on the porch. "You know why this place works?" Lena asked. Maya thought, "Because people look out for each other." Lena smiled. "Because lines are clear, and when someone crosses them, we don't look away." Maya looked at the road, the horizon stretching farther than it ever had before. She understood now, the symbol on the card, the quiet presence, the watchful eyes. It wasn't about fear, it was about responsibility, about standing when it mattered, about a code lived, not shouted. She breathed in, steady and sure, and felt finally at home. If this chapter hit you, if you believe real strength is calm and accountable, if you respect the biker brotherhood and the code they live by, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends. Help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target now. Prove your love. The test that can't be Dodigi summer arrived the way it always does, on the road quietly at first. Then all at once. The mornings grew longer, the nights softened, and the roadside place filled with travelers who carried their lives in backpacks and saddlebags. Maya learned the rhythm. Who needed space? Who needed coffee? Who needed someone to notice when their hands shook? That last part mattered most. The day everything stops it happened just after noon. The door opened hard enough to crack the bell. A man stumbled in, blood on his knuckles, panic in his eyes. "They took my girl," he said, voice breaking. She ran. I tried to stop them. The room went still. Maya felt the air change the same way it had in the diner months ago. Lena was already moving. "Who?" "Local crew," the man said. "Van, no plates." Maya's stomach tightened. This wasn't about disrespect anymore. This was about danger. Lena didn't shout. She didn't panic. She made a call. One call, then another. Within minutes, engines answered, not loud, not angry. Ready. Maya stepped outside with Lena. I can help, Maya said. Lena studied her. You sure? Maya thought of her son, of the diner, of the night she learned what standing looks like. Yes, she said. The road answers BAC Kotha. Convoy didn't race. They flowed. Back roads, old routes, eyes open. Information came in quietly where the van turned, where it slowed, where it stopped. They found it near a shuttered warehouse. The girl was inside. Alive. Terrified. But alive. The men who took her weren't brave. They were careless. And when the door opened and calm faces filled the space, no threats, no shouting, they understood something too late. Lines exist, and crossing them has consequences. The girl was brought out, first, wrapped in a jacket. Safe. Only then did the others move. It was over, quickly. Not because of violence, because no one looked away. After a met half place, the girl drank water with shaking hands. Maya sat beside her, speaking softly. You're okay, Maya said. You're here. The girl nodded, tears streaking her face. Thank you. Lena watched from the doorway, pride quiet but clear. Later, as dusk settled, Lena joined Maya outside. You didn't freeze, Lena said. Maya shook her head. I remembered what? That silence is a choice, Maya replied, and I don't choose it anymore. Lena smiled. Then you're exactly where you belong. Maya looked at the bikes lined up, the people moving with purpose, the road stretching into tomorrow. She understood her role now. Not a waitress, not a victim, a witness who acts, a person who stands. If this chapter shook you, if you believe silence protects the wrong people, if you respect the biker brotherhood and the code they live by, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends. Help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target now. Prove your love. The hardest Melitha call came at dawn. Not urgent, not panicked. Measured. Lena listened without interrupting, eyes on the horizon where the sun was just starting to cut a thin line of gold across the road. When she hung up, she didn't move for a long moment. Maya noticed the bad. Maya asked. Lena nodded once. Personal. They stood together in the quiet, the roadside place still sleeping behind them. Coffee hadn't brewed yet. The world felt paused, like it was waiting to see what they'd do next. Someone's coming, Lena said. From before. Maya didn't ask who. She already knew. The past arrive is by mid-morning. The gravel lot filled with a single car. Not luxury this time. Not polished. Used, dented, honest. The rich teen stepped out alone. He looked thinner, older somehow, like life had finally introduced itself. Maya felt her chest tightened out with fear. Not with anger, but with a quiet awareness that this moment mattered. He walked in slowly. Every step was deliberate. I'm not here for coffee, he said. I'm here to apologize. For real. No audience. No performance. Just him. Maya studied his face. What changed? She asked. He swallowed. I did. He told them about therapy, about losing friends, about working nights at a warehouse where no one cared who his father was, about learning what it felt like to be ignored. I don't want forgiveness, he said. I want to be better. Lena watched carefully. Then she nodded toward Maya. Your call. Maya took a breath. Being better isn't a speech, she said. It's what you do when no one's watching. He nodded. I know. She poured him coffee anyway. Not as a reward. As a line. Do the work, she said. Every day. He nodded again, eyes wet, and left without another word. Outside, engines murmured steady, patient. The last TST that afternoon. The storm returned, but lighter this time. A reminder, not a threat. A rider pulled in with a flat tire. Another needed directions. Small things. Ordinary things. Maya handled them with ease. At sunset, Lena joined her on the porch. You passed, Lena said. Maya frowned. Past what? The hardest mile, Lena replied, choosing accountability over anger. Maya looked out at the road, the place where everything had changed. She finally understood the quiet strength she'd seen that first night in the diner. It wasn't about numbers. It wasn't about fear. It was about watching and acting when it mattered. About lines drawn clearly and kept with care. About a code that didn't shout its name, but lived it. She smiled softly. I'm ready, she said. Lena nodded. Good, because the road keeps going. Somewhere beyond the trees, bikes rolled by present.com, watchful, carrying the same understanding Maya now carried. The same one she'd felt the first time the room went silent and men stood. The same one that would stay with her, mile after mile. If this final chapter stayed with you, if you believe accountability is stronger than anger, if you respect the biker brotherhood and the code they live by, subscribe to Bikershype, like this video, share it with your friends, help us complete the 1,000 subscribers target now. Prove your love.